All right. So it is March 21st, 2023. Hard to believe it's almost April. Like, what? How did that happen? I always feel that way, I think, around this time. It just goes by so fast. But what a great start to our year with Scentsy. And you guys are doing a fantastic job this month. Just a lot of you are hitting some big numbers. So you guys are really doing a good job of promoting this new catalog, which I think is one of the best ones we've ever had. So I wanted to introduce to you our special guest. You all know her well. So Chris Danner hit 15 years. What was the date that you hit it?
March 8th.
March 8th. So
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, she hit 15
March
years.
11th.
March 11th. Okay. Okay. March 11th, she hit 15 years with Scentsy. So I just think that deserves a huge clap. I mean, a lot of people haven't done a lot of things for 15 years. So that's a huge accomplishment alone. And on top of it, she's been at the top of Scentsy, which is an FSD for probably 12 of those years.
14. No, wait, hold on. Like 13 and a half years.
Dang, 13 and a half years. Huge. So, so we thought it would be fitting to let her share 15 things that she's learned over the years. She's going to share her story, and feel free to write down questions if you guys have them. We'll do the questions at the end, or you can type them in the chat. So take it away.
Awesome. Thanks you guys for showing up tonight too. I think it's awesome. I see so many familiar faces of people who you guys come to these monthly meetings frequently. And that just, I think, shows your dedication to the business. And I think it's fantastic. I have a lot. I've thought about this like for a week when Dawn and I talked about doing this, and I've got so much to share with you guys. I made some notes. I'm prioritizing things a little bit more in order because I really want to cover everything, but I'm afraid that I won't have time for everything. So I plan to provide you guys hopefully some inspiration no matter where you are in this business, because I think that we have consultants who are on this call. Maybe you've been with Scentsy for 10 years or more, and maybe some of you have been here for just 2 months. Maybe you just joined Scentsy, and for some of you, maybe it's been 3 years. Maybe you joined like when the pandemic started. And so a lot of what I have to share will transcend across no matter when you joined Scentsy. I have a different perspective since I've been around. When we only had a 27-page catalog. That's crazy, right? We only had Scentsy warmers and wax and some room sprays and some car bars. Like that, we didn't call them scent circles. We called them, we did call them scent circles. Scent circles. We didn't have car bars. See, I wonder how many products they've actually added since 2008. It's crazy. So I'm excited to tell you guys a little bit about what things look like when I joined, and then share with you guys things that I think they were important in my journey when I began Scentsy, and I think they're equally important today. They may just look a little bit different. And I hope that you guys will walk away with something or some little extra tip or piece of inspiration, no matter where you are in this business, okay? But first and foremost, before I begin, I think that when we all joined Scentsy, we all came with a little bit of baggage. We all came with things that we were carrying, and those things were probably weighing on our hearts, like, oh, I'm gonna do the Scentsy business, but is it really gonna be successful? Probably not. I don't know. Let's just give it a whirl and see what happens. Or I'm not a salesy type person, right? Or I'm too busy for this, or I need extra money, but I don't know whether my friends are going to support me, right? We all kind of have a little bit of that. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself before Scentsy, and then when I began Scentsy. So if you guys, a lot of you have known me now for many years, we've become close friends, and some of you, we have never met in person. We've gotten to know each other online. I don't know what your perception of me is as a person, but I will tell you, had you met me in my younger days, I was I was kind of a very shy person. And I kind of had I had very low self-esteem for quite a long time. I grew up in a broken home. My parents were divorced, and I think that led to a lot of tendencies for me to be a people pleaser. And when I was a people pleaser, I tended to put other people in front of my own needs and wants and dreams, because I was always trying to make my parents happy and not be a problem to their issues in life. The reason I tell you that is because I think it's important. I think we all have something that is sometimes holding us back in life, and whatever it is. You've got maybe some hurts, maybe some things going on that you've been carrying with you for some time. And I just want you to know that there's probably a lot of other people around you that haven't spoke of these things that feel the same way. If you've ever felt broken, keep going. Please keep going. If you have ever felt like you've got low self-esteem, please just keep going. Please show up for yourself. If you have, had times where you felt like giving up, please don't give up. Okay. Please go back to why you joined Scentsy. Please find friends, find, comfort in this community that Don and I are trying to create, and connect with people. Okay. So that was me before Scentsy. I did go to college. I graduated. Some of these things I'm going to tell you, I'm going to definitely date myself today. I graduated in the early 90s, which during the early 90s, the job market was very difficult. So the girl who went to college thinking, I'm going to get a great job so that I can go live on my own and afford to live on my own. That didn't happen. The job market was very difficult. I had a very difficult time. I actually I had to work a couple different jobs, my husband and I, just to make ends meet. That lasted for about 5 years. I did work, my husband and I both worked in pharmaceuticals. We were fortunate enough to keep going. And that started my career in sales. So I then had children, and that changed everything. So I'm going to jump to that. When I started, so that gives me a little bit of background pre-Scentsy, because I think it's important, because I think I didn't have any direct sales experience. I did have some sales experience, but I still had low self-esteem. Okay. And when Scentsy was presented to me, I wanted nothing to do with direct sales. I wanted nothing to do with going to the open house that I went to, because I was a candle addict and I did not need to be spending money. But I fell in love with Scentsy. I was like, okay, why can I not stop thinking about this product? And I bought 2 warmers, 6 bars of wax, Enchanted Mist, Sandalwood and Cranberries were 2 of my favorites. Oh, and Cashmere. I still have the 2 warmers that I bought back in 2008. And lo and behold, when I got those warmers, 2 weeks after I got those warmers, my husband and I moved from my community that I had lived in the previous 4 years. We moved 4 hours away. So we were in central Illinois. We moved up to Chicago, to where I knew no one. And as we were unpacking boxes, I will never forget, I opened up those warmers and I turned them on. And as we were unpacking those boxes, I was so happy. If you've ever moved, you know that stressful feeling. And to put those beautiful warmers in my brand new home as I'm unpacking boxes gave me a sense of stress relief. And that was the moment when I knew I had to be a part of this business. I had to be a part of it, even if it was just to fuel my addiction. So a couple of days later, I sat down and I signed up to sell Scentsy without a plan, no friends, didn't know my neighbors. It was March in Chicago and it's cold and nobody is out doing anything. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to build this business. So I basically would be the person that just introduced myself to people in stores. I was really lonely. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was a stay-at-home mom. I looked for a lot of vendor events at that time. Now, mind you, there was no social media. I think MySpace was maybe a thing, but I never got on MySpace. And I think
sorry, I get muting happy. And then I can't unmute you.
okay, can you hear
Okay,
me?
sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So no social media was really happening that much back in that time frame, right? And I actually don't remember really doing a whole lot of online ordering at that time either, right? Like not going online to order products from stores or companies. That wasn't a big thing. So for me, when I joined Scentsy, it was going to be about selling to people you knew. And I had community in another town. So I would actually send catalogs and packets to people, and they would do like catalog parties. And that was working, but then I had to find other ways. So I took what I knew from when I sold pharmaceuticals, and I actually went to businesses in my community, and I would cold call businesses with a basket full of Scentsy. So I would have a warmer, I would have some bars of wax, I would carry around all the really big testers with me. And by the way, I would do this sometimes with my daughter, who was a preschooler. But my goal was to place Scentsy warmers, 2 Scentsy warmers in businesses once a week. And it was like a marketing trial is how I presented this. And I would go to hair salons, dog groomers, vet clinics, dental offices, dermatology offices. I would just go to any business that had a lobby space, because a lobby space typically is, the first picture that a customer gets when they walk in, and they want it to be inviting. They want it to be comforting, and they usually can't have candles. They want it to be calming, especially in a dental office or a vet clinic, right? We want it to create a calm experience, not a, I'm nervous, I got to get my teeth cleaned. So a lot of times they will bring fragrance into those spaces. I never really thought that it would do much for my business, but I will tell you it did so much. Those little things that I did, and I would just get people to try Scentsy for a couple of days. I'd say, would you just try this and tell me what your experience is for 2 days? No cost to you, no risk, nothing at all. Just give it a try. And then I'll come back in 2 days and I'll pick everything up. Practically every single time I picked it up, I had orders. I had people who wanted to book parties. I actually found my first recruit 3 weeks into being a Scentsy consultant, who joined my team because she was working at a salon by doing this. Okay, so I was booking parties. I was meeting people, and we are a business about people. So that's what business looked like for me when I joined. Oh, and then I did, when the weather got nice, my neighborhood was pretty active, and they had bunko. And when the weather got nice, people were more like inviting to me, and I, kind of got to know them. So I'm like, I'm going to do an open house. I don't know very many people. I went to practically every house in the neighborhood and invited everybody to my house for a big open house. And I would say that was the turning point and one of the pivotal points of my neighborhood becoming very, very full of Scentsy. So was it difficult, you guys? Yeah. I mean, like, I am going to tell you, my anxiety sometimes was super high. I was like, it would have been easy to talk myself out of doing all these things, but I wanted so badly for this business to work, because my why for Scentsy that I never really shared with people was I never wanted to work outside of the home where I had to leave my kids with a babysitter, or my kids come home and have to have a babysitter, or have them go to after school care. I was trying to find something that I could do to make money so that I could work from home and be the mom that I wanted to be. Again, things looked a lot different than they do today. And the things that I'm going to share with you, I hope you will think about them, because even though the environment that we are in today, it looks a little bit different as far as what it did 15 years ago. The things that I did 15 years ago are going to still be a lot of the same things that each and every one of you should be doing in your business to grow your businesses. And I'm going to talk more about that. So joined March of 2008. The following October, I made director. And that was a really short trip to director for someone in a brand new community who didn't know very many people. Okay. And that's, like I said, it just literally was just from meeting people. And I don't think I was asking people to join my team, but I was having so much fun with Scentsy. I think that my energy was contagious. I believed so much in this product. It was easy for me to share it. The following year, which would have been in 2009, in October of 2009, I made Star Director. And in November of 2009, I made Superstar Director. And I think our group, when I hit Superstar Director, was right around 198 consultants. So that was insane. We were doing this, I'm going to tell you again, not with social media. These were consultants and our teams hosting a lot of parties, hosting a lot of basket parties, hosting a lot of catalog parties. If you don't have time to go out and do a whole lot of parties or events, do a basket party. And if you don't know what a basket party is, it's basically loaning a host a warmer and catalogs and order forms with instructions, some of your testers, maybe a few little side items, whether it be some of the cleaning products, just a few little things in a basket so that she can take to her school or to her work or to her family reunion and let other people experience Scentsy. And that's how we were doing it in the beginning. It was very much through people, and it was basically giving people this experience which brought them joy, and they wanted to share it with other people as well. And I'm going to tell you something that I don't brag on, because if you know me, you probably know I'm pretty humble and I don't talk about income a lot. But I want to blow your minds with something, and that's why I'm going to share this with you. But in my third year of at Scentsy, I made more money in 1 year that I had ever made in any job that I had ever had prior. And I sold pharmaceuticals, which, if you know, that's typically a pretty high earning job. I surpassed a 6-figure income that year in my third year. And again, I'm not telling you that to brag, okay? I'm telling you that at what the opportunity really is. And, maybe that number doesn't really mean anything to you. And I say it all the time, money is great. I'm not money hungry. I like money for the time that it gives me. Money affords me the ability to take care of what's most precious to me. And what's precious to me right now are my kids who, yes, they're in college, but they still need me. My mom, who is handicapped and aging, really needs a lot of my attention these days. And if I was having to go to work somewhere, I would not be able to get the time off to do the things that I need to do to care for the people in my life. So money to me is about more. It's about freedom. It's the freedom to take care of things. So please know that I say that very humbly, but I hope it makes your heart kind of jump a little bit about what you can do. Okay. It hasn't always been easy. All right, you guys, I'm going to also tell you that about midway into my Scentsy journey, we found ourselves in a couple of challenges. I lost my Superstar Director title. So I basically had some leaders who didn't want to be involved in the business anymore. And I hadn't done enough work to bring more leaders in. So as a Superstar Director, you have to have 4 frontline directors that are active underneath of you. and you have to have certain numbers to get paid at your title. Just like in every title that you earn every month, you have to get paid at your rank. All right. You're trying to get paid at your rank so that you maximize your pay. So there was a period of time, and it lasted almost 2 years, where I was not being paid as a superstar director. I was still showing up for Scentsy, but then also at the same time, my husband became very ill with a condition called Meniere's disease. He ended up losing his hearing, basically almost completely on one side. And about 3 days a week, he would almost be face down in bed with vertigo. And there was not a doctor who gave him any hope for him having a future with a career. They kind of made it seem like he was going to end up on disability. So I went back to work because at that time my kids were in high school, getting ready to go to college, and we didn't have health insurance. If he was not going to be able to work, we would have had to buy Cobra for our family and go on disability. So Cobra is very expensive, and I know a lot of you know. Kathy knows. I see Kathy shaking her head yes. So not only was I struggling in my business, but then I was struggling with my home life. I went to work full time. I was still doing Scentsy. And then my stepfather passed away. And as I told you, my mom, she's handicapped. So it was a lot, you guys. It was like, I lost probably 10 or 15 pounds, a lot of nights sleep. And for those of you that are going through hard times, I understand. I don't know what you're going through. I think so many of us, I look at all these women, and I think so many of us go through tough times, and we just put up this battle armor, and we just keep going and doing all the things, and we don't even talk about it, right? We just keep going, okay? But it doesn't mean that there's pain inside, okay? And I think it's important. We carry baggage. We carry baggage, but in this team, we carry hope, and we never give up. And I hope you take that with you, because it would have been easy for me to quit and just go back to work and say, well, I have no other choice. I did not quit. I kept looking for specialists for my husband. We tried to get him into Mayo. We got him finally into Loyola. We finally, probably about 2 years later, after he got the first diagnosis, found a physician who literally had understood his condition and went a completely different course of therapy for him. He got his whole entire life back. The vertigo went away with one generic drug that is absolutely not indicated for his condition, but it works. So don't give up. Keep going, okay? And it's okay to have baggage. It's okay to bring it with you. But then you know what? Let that shit go, and let's have hope for the future. So now that I've bored you with everything about me, or hopefully inspired you about the shit that goes on, I'm going to tell you what I think, and hopefully will move you and give you just some ideas. And this is like a life lesson. Like I spent $99 to build a great business for me and my family, but it's taught me so much about life that there's no college degree that can do this. You can't even go to a seminar. I mean, Scentsy's charging us $325, and it's going to be a hella good event. But the fact that I paid $99, I get so much from this business. So, okay. What are the most important lessons? Dawn said 15 things. I'm never going to get through 15 things. Well, maybe it's 9:30. Let's see what I can do. Okay, 15 things. Number one thing, I listened to a podcast recently, and this stuck with me. The number one thing that I think I want you all to think about right now, we are in a society, first and foremost, where the convenience has reduced our ability to be resilient. I want you guys to think about how you become resilient again, okay? We are a quick fix society, and this has happened in the course of 15 years, okay? Click a button, and the next day you get your Amazon delivery, right? DoorDash, You literally go onto your app, you order your DoorDash, and 30 minutes later, you have your things, right? That gratification is instantaneous. We text people, we don't call them anymore. I had to call everybody. I wasn't texting anyone, right? When we started a long time ago, we were calling. I used to carry a map in my car. Does anybody have a map in your car? No, because we all have a phone. It's instant. We don't have to think about where we're going, right? We don't even think anymore, right? We're losing our ability to use our own brains because it's instant. We get instant gratification. And I do believe that we have to get out of the notion of all of these apps and online tools and all of these social media avenues, that they are the only way to build a business. I think there are a lot of different ways that we can do that. And we have to go back to some of the basics. So I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the basics tonight. I'm not saying throw social media out the door. I'm not saying throw texting out the door. Don't get rid of project broadcast. But if you're struggling in your business right now, I would really challenge each and every one of you to ask yourselves, have you become too reliant on the conveniences around you that you've lost your ability to be resilient and find other ways? Okay. So I just don't think it's normal in life for us to get into this notion that you're going to sign up to sell Scentsy for $99 and you're going to build a business only on social media that's going to bring you 6 figures, and you're going to do it in a year. It's just not, that's not reality. You're going to have to pivot and try different things. So I want you to think about that. How do you make yourself more resilient in an environment that has become incredibly convenient? And you can be old school like me. I'm 52 years old. Take it back to when I was 37 and just joining Scentsy. Take it back and get on the phone and call people and ask people to host a party, right? I know it seems weird, but I think we would all be amazed at how many people just want to hear us pick up the phone and get on and have a conversation. And I think people want to have that connection back again. After 3 years of feeling isolated and alone, I think people are ready to get back together and get community. Okay, number two. I'll do this really quick. I want you guys to stop telling the same story about yourself that you've been telling yourself for the same however years old you are. Okay. Stop saying things like, I told you I have low self-esteem. I don't say that about myself anymore. Okay. I quit saying that about myself. Stop saying that you're not a salesperson. It doesn't matter if you're a salesperson to do Scentsy. You just have to share the product. Okay. Stop saying that you don't belong to this team. You belong in our community. I don't care who you are, what your social status is, what your economic status is, what you look like, if you have a disability, what color your skin is. What you get to be you. This is a business where you get to be you. This is where you write new chapters about yourself. So whatever baggage that you've been carrying, that you keep telling that same old stupid story about yourself because you didn't get the education, you can't succeed because of whatever, you can't succeed. I want you to stop today and go write the new chapters that are ahead of you. The best is yet to come, but it's up to you to go write that chapter. Okay. You have to get over it. You have to get over what was in the past and start moving forward into the future. Okay. And number 3 thing that I think is really important in this business that I have learned, this one was a hard one for me and I got stuck in this a couple times. Raise your hand if you've ever felt like people that were your best friends and your closest family members would be your biggest Scentsy supporters and advocates, and they didn't, and they let you down and they disappointed you. How many people, right? People are going to disappoint you. It's okay. I will tell you that if you just rely on friends and family, your business is going to go very slow and very stagnant. Here's the news flash. Strangers that you meet will become some of your closest friends and biggest supporters and biggest inspiration in this business. So Who cares about your friends and family? Let them go. Let them be just that. Let them be your sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. Let them be who they are and go build your business with complete strangers. And we're going to talk about different things that you could do to meet people. Okay. But you have to find people in this business. You have to keep finding new people. People aren't going to stay with you forever. People are going to be your customer until they become a consultant. And then they're going to go take all of their people who were coming to all their parties. And those are going to be, and you're going to lose that whole, you got to keep finding your people, bringing new people in. Okay. You know, I moved from Illinois where all my customers were. I had a great customer base, and I'm in Virginia Beach and I'm starting all over again. Okay. And I'll tell you a little bit about that a little bit later here. Okay. So let's see. The next one is practice every day. Practice something in your business every day. This is so easy. Get on your workstation every darn day. Okay. Check your numbers, check your orders, check your news tab. If you have a little amount of time, do that one thing. Get on your team page. You have 5 minutes. You can find 15 minutes. I bet each of us can find that time, but it's up to you to practice. Show up to practice. Listen, you can buy a gym membership and waste your money by not going. Scentsy's the same thing. You spent $99. Show up for your business and practice. Do something to practice your business, okay? And then the other thing that goes along with that is you don't have to be perfect to come to practice, right? You don't have to be perfect. Be willing to stumble. Be willing to make mistakes, not know the answers, but be willing to show up to practice to learn, okay? I find that Scentsy taught me, this next one, Scentsy taught me in difficult times, instead of getting fixated on everything that was going wrong, which I believe manifested more wrong in my life, to fixate on gratitude and create gratitude in your life. Because when you are in dark places, it's really easy to go darker. It's really easy to waller in all the things that are going wrong and all the bad. And keeping a gratitude journal, waking up every morning and writing 5 things down that are good in your life that you have to look at even when you go to bed at night, that is going to actually make you, it's going to trick your brain. Your brain is going to stop thinking about it. There's going to be a connection that's going to happen. And if you've been in dark places, this is one of those things that I think is really, really hard to do, but it's a practice. So I told you to practice. But if you're in a hard time right now, try to practice some gratitude and wake up in the morning. And it could just simply be that you woke up in the morning and that you have some food in the refrigerator, and that you can name one person who loves you. There could be simple things. Start small, but start with gratitude. And then when you get stronger, look for people to help. Okay. Look for people around you that you can serve. In my hardest times, getting up and helping someone else helped me get out of a funk. Because when I found that other people had similar situations as me, I didn't feel alone. If you sit at home and you're feeling sad and blue, you're alone. Get up and help other people. Because if you help other people, you're going to connect and have community. Okay. Gratitude always wins. Keep it simple. Dawn Spencer taught me this. She is the queen of keep it simple. I have always been the queen of overcomplicate things, but not anymore because of my awesome best friend, Dawn Spencer, who's been great at that. Really the basics are what work. Dawn just got an office. Dawn has been successful with Scentsy for many years, working from her couch, her kitchen table, her car, anywhere, front room, front porch, backyard. She didn't have a fancy setup. She didn't have a fancy office. Think about it this way, right? You could have a pair of work overalls that were real dirty and dingy, and they were making you a lot of money because you put those work overalls on and you put them to use and you did all the work. Or you could have the fancy frilly clothes, like all the things, all the perfect situation, and you may not even have as much success. So simplify things. Look for what is going to make you money. Okay. That's what you should be doing in your business. If you, Chastity, I love because she talked about the things she wasn't going to do this year. And that was make a bunch of samples that sat around and didn't do anything for her. Right. If you're that person where you're like making all the things and then you're not using them, you got to ask yourself, am I keeping it simple? If you're loading up 3 and 4 trips from your car to a hostess's house, we got to talk, because that is not simple. 1 trip, maybe 2, that's it. If you have more than 1 trip in and out of a hostess's house, if you're carrying armfuls of stuff, we got to talk. There's probably too much. Okay. Keep your business simple. Simplicity is key. People are not going to want to follow you if you're making it too complicated and perfect, because they're going to go, I can't do that. I'm not a perfect person. It's too much. Okay. This one's big. This is big. This business, the thing that you need to know is look for how you can help people. I hate it when people say, well, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not asking you to sell anything. I'm asking you to join this business because I think you would be good at helping people. I think that what we do is we help people. People love Scentsy for the joy it brings them, the stress relief that it brings them. It's aromatherapy, and people are hurting. People go through tough times and they don't even know what Scentsy is. They don't even know that they need it, right? We share that with them. We help them. We help them with something in their home that brings them an extra sense of happiness. A car bar in their car, driving down the road with screaming kids in the back seat. Stress relief, right? Are you all with me? Like, it's joy. People who need money, we can help them, right? And right now, people are paying more at the pump, at the grocery store, their electric bills, their utilities, interest rates are up. A lot of people are going to need money in the coming month, years, right? As we readjust to this new economy that we are in, right? Scentsy is that avenue. Help people. People want Scentsy, but they can't afford as much as they would like to get. Help them host a party or do a shopping link. Help. Do you see what it sounds like when you say help instead of sell? It's not about you, it's about them. Look at your business as a way to help people. And when I started doing that in my business, it almost like manifested more people coming in. It's like a contagion. It's like, I'm all about getting you the best deal. How can I spoil you when you come into my home? It's going to be awesome. I want you to feel special. I want you to walk away from my home feeling super special. So look for how you can help people. How am I doing on time? Okay, good. We're doing pretty good. Okay. Another tip that I have for you guys is stop deciding what people are going to say to you before you even ask them. So stop talking yourself out of engaging in conversation with people before you've even started. You found somebody that you think would make a great consultant to join with you on this Scentsy journey. But then you look at her and you go, she's busy and she's got another job and she probably is just going to say no. So I'm not even going to ask her. Stop doing that. Stop talking yourself out of inviting people into your business because you think that they're going to say no. But you're doing them a disservice. You're not giving them a chance to tell you what their feelings are on it one way or the other. You're doing it to protect yourself because you're afraid of no. You're afraid they're going to tell you no. It's okay to hear no, you guys. No is like not the end of the world. No, I've heard no. Well, listen, Kathy, I don't think she's on the call tonight, but my most recent new recruit was one of my best hosts for years. She told me no probably 15 times before she finally joined. She had been one of my top hosts since 2011, I think. 2011, 2012, I can't remember. Okay. So stop making decisions for people before you even give them a chance to join you. This one's easy. I got number 9. We're on 9. There are not too many consultants in your area. There aren't. So stop saying it. That's not true. Today, I'm getting ready to host my first open house here in Virginia Beach. So I'm inviting a ton of people from the neighborhood. I finally have got up enough courage to do it. And I feel like I know enough people to really invite. But today was fun because 2 of the ladies who can't come next week wanted to come over because they were really curious about what Scentsy was. They didn't know what Scentsy was. They had never heard of Scentsy. And they said they have a lot of friends that don't know about Scentsy. They actually said, maybe I should do this. Do you need helpers? Do you need people to help you? That's what she said. Do you need helpers? I'm like, I'm always hiring helpers. They bought $200 worth of product today to pre-place on the order, and they booked a party with me. Never owned Scentsy. Okay. I've known these ladies for a little bit, so shame on me. I should have asked and done this party sooner. Okay. This is me being fully transparent. Get after it, guys. Go for it. Go invite people, right? I probably could have done this last summer, but I dragged my feet. I was still getting situated in my new home. Anyway, that's a story for another day. There are not too many consultants in your area. There are homes waiting for Scentsy warmers and wax. Get your asses out there and go find them, okay? And number 10, you cannot make excuses if you want it bad enough, okay? You can't make excuses because if you want it bad enough, you're gonna not let any excuse get in the way. And if your business isn't really where you want it to be right now, I would ask you to go back to why you do Scentsy and maybe get a bigger why. If you feel like you haven't been showing up for your business as much as you could, maybe it's time to make your why just a little bit bigger, where it makes your heart leap a little bit so that you won't let excuses or busy times get in the way from making 5, 10, 15 minutes a day for your business to put some income producing activities into your business. Okay. So if your why feels a little stale, it's going to be easy to make excuses, but you literally cannot make excuses on why you wouldn't work your business if you want it bad enough. If you want something bad enough, you'll be desperate enough. I know a lot of people who join Scentsy when they're desperate because they need food to put on the table. They need to pay electric bills. They are worried about losing their homes. And be thankful if you're not in that position, because that's a horrible position to be in. But the people like that, they will find a way to stay in their homes and work their butts off to get out of that position. Okay. So you got to readjust your why if you feel like you're making excuses and the business isn't where you want it to be. Okay. We only got a few more to go. Let's see. What do I have here? Okay. Are you somebody right now who needs to get more accomplished? Do you feel like you kind of are unorganized and sometimes waste time? Are you one of these people that feel like you could do better with your day and scheduling your day? I go through periods of time where I'm very much like that. Okay. So a couple tips for you. If you feel like you need to get more accomplished in the day, then I ask you to look for 2 or 3 things that you can cut from your day where you can make time for Scentsy. You know what I cut from my day recently? Because it didn't bring me as much joy, the amount of time I spend on social media. And I think sometimes even on my team page, it's apparent because I get off and I do other things for my business. Okay. I'm doing other things that bring me joy in my business. Getting out and meeting people is one of them. Okay. If you're, spending a lot of time in the evenings sitting on your couch scrolling through mindless TV, maybe it's time to get up and work your business for 15 minutes before you can come back and do more mindless scrolling for TV that you probably don't care about, right? I always say, look for a few things to cut out to make more time. in your life. You have to budget your day. You know, if you are working a full-time job, I know a lot of you are, I know a lot of you work 40, 50 hours a week and you kill it with Scentsy and you have teams. I think a lot of you guys are at a point where you've learned what matters most. And some of you guys have actually hired people to do a few little tasks for you. Okay, so if you need to get time back in your life, there are so many different ways that you can do it, but you have to be able to say no to things. That's another big one with this, is if you find yourself saying yes to people when you mean to say no, then start learning to say no. Okay. If you're a people pleaser, I was a people pleaser. I always said yes. I always would, you know, carpool, take extra kids. I wanted everyone to be happy. I didn't want to cause grief. I didn't want to upset anyone. I like to keep everything really nice and cohesive. That's at the expense of me though, because that just causes stress on me. Everybody else is happy, but I'm stressed out. I'm the only one doing all the work late at night, right? And sleeping less. So look for ways where you can cut things. Look for ways where you can say no. Okay. Do you need more customers? I think some of you feel like you need more customers, right? And I know that I asked the question on the team pages tonight, and people are like, how do you keep getting more customers? I'm always reinventing and reworking my list of 100. I'm an old school pen and paper person. I do have an Excel spreadsheet of my very best customers, and I do track them. I do some monthly mailers with them. That's one of my top hot lists, but I'm always adding to that list. Things to think about when you're adding to your list. Are you a customer to a new business in your community? Like, I don't know, did you recently go to a new nail salon to get your nails done? Because if so, then there's a perfect person while they're doing your nails and you're sitting there for an hour to talk to about Scentsy. That is your wish list. Those are people that you would like to share Scentsy with that you haven't told them about the business. Okay. You have to continue to add people to your list. Did your husband get a new job recently? Who are his coworkers? Network through people, right? Did you move to a new town? Do you have a whole neighborhood of people that you want to tell about Scentsy? This is me, right? Add those people to your list. Keep adding people to your list. Go to your social media and go to your chat bar and ask yourself, how many people in this chat bar have never ever inquired about Scentsy? I have no idea if they use Scentsy. I'm just going to send them a quick message, see how they're doing, and ask them if they've ever heard of Scentsy, and start up a conversation, strike up a conversation. Okay. Okay. Number 13, we're almost done. Number 13, do you need more money? You need to literally, if you need more money right now, if your family needs this income and you're not getting paid where you want to get paid, I want you to think of what the amount you need is, and you need to sell Scentsy to that amount monthly. For example, if you need $600 a month extra in your family's budget, you need to sell $2,000 in product. And you need to break that down into a daily goal or a weekly goal on how you're going to get it. Go back to the basics and start booking parties. Ask people if they would like to do a catalog party with you. Stop relying on social media only as your avenue. We got stuck doing a lot of social media during COVID, and a lot of people aren't on social media anymore because they're out living their life again, and they're not stuck at home scrolling social to get their connection. All right. They're ready to get back together and host parties. Okay. And when I said sell to that amount monthly, if you're hosting parties, make sure that you're asking hosts to join your team. Okay. $2,000 in sales monthly is $600 in commission. And if you become a director and you're making $2,000 in sales, you're probably going to be making well over $1,000 a month in commission. as a leader, growing your team. Okay. So that's how your income's going to grow. It's 9:56. So my last two things are going to be super duper quick. I'm going to rip through them. Keep your promises, but don't keep score. Okay. Be a good person, even in a room full of negative naysayers and rule breakers. So stay humble and kind. Be a good person. It all comes back full circle to you. Be a good person. One of the stupidest things I think that people say right now is that we're all in the same boat. Be wary of using that. We are not in the same boat. We may have a similar boat. We may be in a similar situation in a boat, but somebody else is in a yacht and they're upset about being in the yacht. And next to them is somebody in a big dumpy dinghy with holes in the bottom of the dinghy and it's about to sink. Okay. We ain't all in the same boat. And be kind and be nice to other people because you really don't know what others are going through. Okay. Finally, have a big heart and thick skin. I always love this one. You could be the sweetest, juiciest, yummiest, nicest smelling peach in the whole wide world. And there will be somebody that will make it their mission to find what's wrong with you. Okay. You have to just let it go. Stop trying to make them like you and go find more people who will love you. Okay. And they will think the best of you. Okay. That's it. I took up all the time and we're going to be over.
Oh, it's okay. That was so good.
So
I would love for, I don't know how many are on here, 20, we have 24. There's 22 minus us. I would love to hear maybe like a takeaway from like aha from everyone in the chat, like something that you were like, yes, that's good. I've never thought of it that way. Or that's a great reminder. I need to do blah, blah, blah. So I would love for you guys to do that in the chat. So let's encourage Chris and everything that she shared and all the things that she's learned over the years. Great, great, great information, great nuggets. Yes. Thank you for sharing all those good nuggets, Chris. That's from Carrie. And I just want to say, as a friend of Chris's, and we wouldn't have been friends if it wasn't for Scentsy. I don't think we would have ever met. And I recently went to go visit her in Virginia Beach, and she's new to her neighborhood. You guys, she's the nicest human in her whole hood. Like she literally was, she was so nice and kind. She talked to everybody. She made everybody feel important. And I just think that she has done such a great job with being herself and just showing love and kindness. And it comes back. It really does. It comes back. And I think that because you're that way, it has just really helped your business. And I really don't know anybody that can say a mean thing about you, even though I'm sure there's someone that doesn't like peaches, but you've just been so good for my soul. And I know many others here as well. So thank you for being you and for sharing and for being limitless, even in those hard times. I know it's been hard for you and at times, and you've been limitless.
I think the thing is that people maybe have a notion about you. You know, when we do this business, and I can look at a lot of you guys and you all inspire me. And I think I know you really well, but I always wonder what's going on behind the screen. Like if we just sat down and spent more time together, like, I think there's just things that are going on. And so I think it's just important to know and be okay with that. So, and we are not a quitting group, you guys. So you have to perfect the pivot in this business. And, the last 3 years, we have been so resilient. We figured out how to do amazing things with Scentsy. Basically, while stuck in our homes, not getting together, not doing social events, not doing vendor shows or very many parties, doing it all online.
Yeah.
And now that things are back open again, I think it's again rethinking what you can do. And a lot of that is go back to some of the basic things and think about getting back out in front of and with people again to
Mm.
grow your business like a lot of our old time girls then
Yeah.
before COVID. So
Yeah. Yeah. So there's, I don't know if Chris, if you've gotten a chance to read it, I'll also save this so you can read it later, but some really great things everyone's saying. Okay. So we're going to do some giveaways before we get off here. So, you have to be on here to win. So if I put your name in here and you're not on here, and I pull it, you can't win unless you're on. And I did add Monica's friend who's with you, but I couldn't remember her name, so I put Monica's guest. And then I also added Samsung, and I couldn't remember your name. So if your name's not on there, you're gonna have to tell me what your name is. All right, so we're gonna pull 4, right?
Thanks guys for everything you said. I really, it means the world to me. I know I was trying to cover a lot. If we're not friends on social media, please make sure that we are friends. And if there's anything you ever want to ask me or have a personal conversation with me about, I would love to talk to you about Scentsy. It drives me crazy when people are like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you. I know you're busy. I love to talk to you guys about Scentsy. So don't be shy. Okay. Seriously. And if you know me, and if you've ever called me and done this, you know what I'm talking about. So
Yes, I agree, and I'm the same way. Okay, and I've also am guilty of reading messages in the middle of the night if I can't sleep, and then I don't respond, and then I'll forget. So it's not personal. So if I didn't respond, just say, hey, you didn't respond. And then I'll respond when I'm awake. Okay. We have 4 winners. Woo, woo. And our winners, if they're still on here, are Amanda Pace. Are you still on? Yay. Chastity O.
yay.
Talia Eves. I think that's how you say your last name. And then Joanne. I don't know if she's still on. Let's see. Joanne. She might not be on. If not, I'll re-pull. I don't see Joanne on here anymore. Do you guys see her?
No.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to pull one more. Peyton. Is she still on?
Peyton.
Yay.
Oh my gosh. Peyton. Poor Peyton had hip surgery.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's like, I don't know. She is in bed. So you guys
I am laying down.
can we please give Peyton some major love right now? Because she's
Aw.
in bed feeling like shit and showed up for this call. So you
Thank
are the real
you.
MVP girl.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
Well,
hope you feel better.
yeah, speedy recovery.
Thank you.
All right, well, you're a winner. So the Lord knew. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It's 9:05. I would say let's take questions, or you guys can just reach out to us individually. How about that?
If you have a question, we'll stick around for a bit, or if you have
Okay.
to go, we understand, right?
Yeah. And I didn't see any questions come through, but that's possible. There was 1 or 2. Any questions? It's so good to see everybody.
Thanks for coming, you guys. Thanks for showing up for your businesses.
Yeah. Agreed.
Selfishly, I love to see you guys. So, and I love it when you guys do your cameras too.
All right. Well, I don't see anything coming through. So you guys rock. Thanks, Sylvia. Love you, girl.
Love you
All right.
guys.
You guys have a great night. Have a great week. Keep rocking your businesses. Keep showing up for yourself. And we'll see you next time.